guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another layout. This process video is for Stuck Sketches, and I am using their December 15th sketch. So the sketch calls for a large triangle, and since it's the middle of December, one would surmise that that means a tree. Now, just because a sketch calls for something like that does not mean that you have to do it. I, however, was in a Christmassy mood and definitely wanted to make a Christmas layout. So what I am doing is I am taking this gorgeous craft paper. This is by Crate Paper Fa La La, and I am going to make a very plain Christmas tree out of this. I had originally thought that I would pull out my silhouette and do something a little bit more intricate and fun. However, I do get some comments from people that, say that they wish they had a silhouette, or, that they could make some of these more detailed cuts. And I just want to show you that you can still make a pretty cool layout just with some basic shapes. So I decided to make this craft paper my large tree, and I'm just erasing some of the lines. I just kind of eyeballed where I wanted the tree and then just centered it. And now I'm just going to trim off the edges. So making a large shape on your, layout can be just as simple as that. So I'm going through the papers and just trying to figure out what I want to use for the layers. Laura has a rather large banner that's grounding 3 photos, and I have printed off 2 photos to use as opposed to the 3. And I felt like that bright red would be a great contrast to that craft and the white background. I was a little hesitant though to use it because the background or the back side or the B side of that paper is this beautiful pink, and it's kind of like a chevron, and it's pink and white and a little bit of red, and I really wanted to, I bought the paper for the other side, but I felt like that's just the way it goes sometimes. You unexpectedly have something else that works better. So I'm just going with it because, as I've said before, and it is definitely my mantra, I want to use it before I don't like it. So this green plaid is also one of my favorites in this collection. And because the craft tree is so dark, I didn't want to add a whole lot of dark colors, meaning that I wanted to limit the amount of that dark green that was showing, but I wanted to have a, still have a pop of that because I love that buffalo plaid so much. Any type of plaid I love. I'm a sucker for plaid. Plaid, stripes, polka dots, they are definitely my jam. Love them. So I'm going through, and I felt like I needed a little bit more green on the page. I've gone through the die cuts, and I know that I have said this before, but they are so very big. And again, I struggled with trying to find die cuts and stickers and, puffy stickers that were the right, size combination between the large and the small. There's not a lot of medium, and I like to have more medium and small die cuts. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is having to just take a creative day where I make some of my own embellishments using the paper so that they coordinate, but just so that I can, have a little bit of an easier time when I am doing my clusters. So these alphas are also from that collection, and I just adore them. I like the fact that it's a light wood and that they're, dipped in white. I feel like it makes it a little bit more fun and whimsical, and this page is definitely going to be one of those. The photos that I am using are 2 different ones of my kids. They both were taken on Christmas morning, and I have to look up the dates. It's awful. I think they're about 8 years apart with this. And, it's just one of those traditions that, every year I started when, Patrick was born, was on Christmas Eve, they get to open up their Christmas jammies, and it's a running joke because, they always are like, oh, I wonder what this is. Could it be? And of course it is. But somebody had told me that when the kids were little, and I just like that little tradition because, number one, you're not going to be in ratty pajamas, and anybody that's had kids know that their pajamas can get quite icky, just because they're kids, even if they're clean. And I liked it. And plus, when they were little, I could kind of dress them coordinating or alike. And, you know, those little striped pajamas were so cute on them. So I did turn the photos in black and white because the colors in the photos when they were side by side were not going to go well together at all. You know, my son had on green and white striped, Emily had on red and white striped, and then in the others it was a darker plaid and pink and all sorts of colors, and it was just too much. So what I did is I felt like my white background was too white, but I didn't want to put it on a pattern paper because I just could not commit to a different pattern paper. So I took my dies and I found this snowflake set. I'm not sure. I tried to label things and I don't know if the label just fell out, but it's a set of 3 snowflakes that I have. And it could be Avery L. I'm not sure because usually, you know, they have a smaller set sometimes. But it's 3 snowflakes. So I just cut some out in vellum and then I ran them through my Xyron machine. And then I just decided I was going to scatter them all over the background for a little bit of extra interest and texture and to make my own pattern. You know, I had a hang up with snowflakes for the longest time because, you know, we're in an area where we get a lot of slush. We don't get a lot of snow, you know, that sits for, you know, a week or so at a time, although we will get it every now and then. We get more, you know, freezing rain, sleet, mixed in with snow, and it's just icky. So I feel like, well, I did for the longest time that snow needed to have like snow pictures or, you know, things like that. You know, sometimes we come up with these preconceived notions. Nobody told me that snowflakes had to be just strictly for snow. Snow is winter. You know, Christmas occurs in winter in the United States. Why not use snowflakes on a Christmas page? You know, sometimes we just have to let go of these little preconceived notions that we put in our own head. Anyway, I'm showing you the stitching that I did. I decided that I really wanted a pop of black with this because the background paper, the black that I'm using, just looked the best. So, and just stitching the tree in the black helps to pull out the black. Plus some of the embellishments had a little bit of black in them that I was, you know, wanting to use. And I just felt like it was a nice contrast. Plus, even though these are traditional Christmas colors, the red and the green, I felt like this still looked a little bit unusual for a Christmas page. Maybe it just does in my eyes because I don't use a lot of traditional colors when I'm doing my pages. I like to add the pinks and aquas and just, you know, different things. I'd rather scrapbook with what I like versus a themed, you know, background paper necessarily. So this to me seemed to be a little bit different. So I am taking out these freckled fawn chipboard letters that I have. They are phrase stickers, but not stickers. Phrase chipboard embellishments. I don't know what you want to call them. Anyway, I am going to use 3 different ones on 3 different clusters. One is going to say my favorite, one is going to say little moment, and the other one will say totally awesome. So I did this again to help bring in some of that black. It is now, you know, framing the page. It's in the chipboard phrases, and it will be in the upper right hand cluster when I finally decide on the sticker that I'm going to use. Now I cut a lot of this out because this was a little tedious and it took me a while, but I am gluing these little white sequins on the snowflakes, and be sure and look at the close-ups at the end. These snowflakes are so pretty. I'm definitely going to repeat this in my December daily if I remember. It was fun and it just makes such an impact on the page. I think it would be pretty to have like a full 6x8 page of nothing but this, you know, the snowflakes and the vellum and sequins. So now I'm working on my third cluster, and it is going to be in that upper right hand corner. And this is where you will see that I go through, I'm having issues. I felt like that little birdie was too small, and I am going to have one, I either cut it out on camera, I'm not sure if I do, or I pull it out when the camera's off, but I felt like this pink one was too big, although that's ultimately what I go with. And I have, you know, like I said, pulled out one that I had fussy cut for another project, and I felt like that was too small. So it just, I feel like I'm Goldilocks with this collection, and it's driving me nuts because I don't think I am. If anybody else is having this issue with this collection, please let me know so I can think it's not just me. Otherwise, I'm just going to say it's me and I'm weird. So anyway, this is about it. I need to go back and put the dates on this, but I'm not going to do any major journaling on this page because I feel like the title and the pictures say it all. It's so cute, just putting them on the steps, taking a photo, you know, before they run down and, you know, open up their Christmas presents and see what Santa brought. And yes, it was torture for them when they were that age, but let me tell you what. I was able to get both of them looking at the camera at the same time with a little smile so much quicker when they knew that Santa had come versus, you know, any other day. So it really wasn't that much of a torture for them. They did what they were supposed to rather quickly. So anyway, be sure and check out the Stuck Sketches blog and see what other designers have created with this sketch. I've seen them and they are great. Such fun pages, and hopefully you will be able to play along. We know that December is a busy month and you might not have a chance to play along with the sketch, but if you do, be sure and link it up to the Stuck Sketches blog post for a chance to win a prize from one of the 2 sponsors. So again, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.